There's something due any day. I will know right away, soon as it shows. It may come cannonballing down through the sky, gleaming its eye bright as a rose. Who knows? It's only just out of reach, down the block on a beach, under a tree. I got a feeling there's a miracle due, gonna come true, coming to me. Could it be? Yes, it could. Something's coming, something good. If I can wait, something's coming. I don't know what it is, but it is gonna be great. With a click, with a shock, phone'll jingle, door'll knock. Open the latch. Something's coming, don't know when, but it soon. Catch the moon.
Oh, good evening, good evening, good evening. Well, what a fine time I'm having. I'm very excited. There's some massive things happening here in this beautiful place in which I live. Big things happening. Many things I can't even talk to you about, except my new stickers. How great are they? Can I just say, if you can't really see them, these are angry little eggplants or aubergines, whatever you want to call them. And I have just worked hard over the last week or two. You banned me from YouTube. You silly, disturbed young person, you. You get me banned from YouTube. And then just massive things happen because you've given me some free time, and I don't really have any free time. I don't normally have any free time. This grifting business is full time. It's before my kids get up in the morning. It's then I do breakfast, take them to school. Then I work all day. Then I go and pick them up from school. Then I have a little bit of family time, and then often I come back out in the evenings. And because you've banned me from YouTube, I have had a little bit more time to do some of the little tiny things that have now helped me see a clear path to world domination. So thanks. It's really, really, really kind of you. And I want all of you people, no sound now. Did you hear this then?
Could be. Who knows? There's something due any day.
Because I piggin' love that song. And that's kind of how I feel anyway. So I've had time to look after some of the processes and things that often become really tricky when you're quite so busy. Oh, good. Better West Side Story. I was Maria in West Side Story, I'll have you know, when I was 18. And I could reach all the notes. And I really wanted to be Anita. And I ended up thinking that I got the lesser part because I was Maria and she was boring, but she did have good songs. So, what can I say? So what's really great when people try and stamp on me is that I get to then pivot and think about other ways. Like, what happens if my YouTube channel completely disappears? What happens if these unadulterated morons get their own way? Like, what happens then? Do we all just then think that ladies have penises? No, we don't. So I've made some real world differences that hopefully everybody will feel the impact. And I want everyone who watches this channel and shares something on social media and has a conversation with somebody down at the bus stop or in a queue at the post office, don't think that whatever happens on the global stage, on the sort of political elite stage, questions in the House of Parliament, the most beautiful word I ever heard. Oh, I remember. And do you know what? The boy on the first night actually kissed me properly, and I thought I was going to be sick. So don't think that when Rishi Sunak says that he's looking into stuff, although isn't he gutless? Don't you want someone in the House of Parliament to say, Don't you think it's wrong that we're teaching children about this nonsense? Don't you want someone to say, "Yes, isn't it disgusting? I want it stopped immediately." When you like someone to do that, I just want someone to do that. I want a politician to say, not, "My learned friend," although that's court, isn't it? I don't want a politician to apologetically say, "I don't want children learning about anal sex." I don't want elementary school children, I don't want primary school children being told how to masturbate. I don't want, don't you think it's wrong and immoral that we are sexualizing children? Wouldn't you want someone just to say it? Not this thing. Like, I'm wondering, and you might be able to help me with this, and I'm gonna have to preface this, especially for you ladies that like to follow vile AGPs on Twitter. I'm gonna have to preface this by saying consenting adults can do whatever they like with each other. Whatever they like with each other. Consenting. I mean, genuine consent, not paid for consent. Genuine consent. Right? I want them to be able to do whatever they want with each other in the comfort of their own home, or even in a club where everybody's signed up to something that you know what you're getting into when you enter that place, and you're not coerced and you're not manipulated, and you're just there to do whatever it is that you want, like with other consenting adults. Go live your best life. I'm happy for you. Are we having sexually graphic things in school that do not disguise themselves under the banner of LGBT? Don't know why I've gone blurry. There we go. Because it seems to be the same sort of shield as a dog collar or a long black cloak, are somehow attached to religions of old. This religion of new seems to be able to do things and not be questioned. So, can I just say my YouTube is not permanently banned. It's just got a second strike for something that formerly had a strike and got appealed and got overturned, and they acknowledged, and I'm looking really cross-eyed. So I don't know what that is. Something to do with the delay. Anyway, so I'm just asking, and I don't know this. I feel this. There's a difference between feeling and knowing. All the things I've heard that are inappropriate. It's about young boys, like 16-year-old boys, and adult males, or it's about certain sorts of sex or certain sorts of bodies, and that's where the sexualization is happening, and it happens to just fall under the umbrella. You know, there aren't wrong. And look, if I'm totally wrong, I will come and apologize. So I'm happy to be wrong, actually. I'm happy to think that this isn't just a big shield of sexualizing kids, using LGBT. Sexualizing children is bad enough. Using a covert and manipulative tactic of shielding it with supposed minority sexualities, I think that is a different level of really organized sexualization and getting away with something by using this disguise. So it's almost not as bad as if there's equally as graphic sexualized novels, or how-to guides in libraries that are also about heterosexual people that don't call themselves trans, normal people. So I'm just wondering, because that's my feeling, that this actually is all a manipulative cover, which makes me sound like a raging conspiracy theorist, and I hope the BBC looks into me. But it is really dangerous, really, really dangerous, because you can't question it. There are certain things at the moment that you can't question. There's certain modes of behavior that you can't question, you can't comment on, because you're frightened of being accused of something, some ism or obia. And I think we really have to put that somewhere. I frequently get asked about, how are we going to stop this? How are we going to stop being accused of being Nazis? You can't. Why defend it? You can't. I'm happy to be accused of being some sort of trad whatever. I don't care. Call me what you like. Means you're thinking about me. Means you're talking about me. Means you're listening, tuning in to something that I'm saying. Means you see me as a threat. Look, when people have decided that you're something, when people have decided that some sort of action, that some sort of accusation, that some description, some recognition for bad behavior is something, that they can silence you by calling it something. There's really nothing you can do. You can try and reason with these people, but they are beyond reason. They are emotional, crippled emotional people. Um, and I just think that why bother? You know, why bother? I'm not going to try and rationalize behavior to irrational people. So I just anyway, but I want us to start expecting people like I'm fed up with going, "Oh, that was good. Yay, Rishi Sunak said he's looking at the." I'm so pleased that one woman in the UN said she doesn't feel that women should be experience violence and intimidation for speaking up about sex-based rights. One woman in the UN, a UN that is absolutely littered. UN women is full of men with penises. Like, I'm fed up of cheering the mild, tiny things. I mean, I'm grateful to her, but it's not it's not exciting to me. Overthrowing the UN, ousting all the men from UN women, and now I'll have a party. I'll crack open an expensive bottle of vintage champagne. Rishi Sunak. Oh, we are reviewing. No, Rishi Sunak. Right now, under your leadership, teachers have been giving lessons in how to masturbate to children, breaking the boundaries between adults and children sexually. Drag queens are invited into schools and libraries under your leadership. Don't tell me you're looking into it or we're going to have an inquiry. I believe that as much as I believe that you will pay what's morally right in tax. What's morally right for non-doms to pay in tax, not what's legally right, what's morally right. I'm just not having it. I'm not having the not I'm not having anything less than what we actually need. And someone said she also spoke up against Scotland's wokeness. That's great. Look, it's great. If you want to celebrate that, that's amazing. But until the UN stops this massive push to sexualize children, to talk about children having rights away from their parents, and they don't mean forced marriage. They don't mean that. They don't mean they're not standing up for the thousands of women in Ukraine who were subjected to surrogacy. They never spoke a bloody word on that. Nobody did. Nobody cared about Ukraine. Nobody cared about the women in Ukraine. Nobody cared that there's absolutely hundreds of thousands of people trafficked in the Ukraine. Nobody cared about that. I'm sick and tired of pretending, like people pretending that they care about stuff when they don't really care about stuff. It's just so like, Reem needs us to support her. Look, I'll support her. But we need to, it's just not good enough. I don't mean that one woman's not good enough. Great. High five, high 10. Amazing. I'm delighted. But like everyone's a bit half-assed. Everyone's a bit half-assed. And if people had guts at the beginning of this, people had genuinely had guts at the beginning of this, we wouldn't be here. Like, does anyone really think? Does anyone really think that genuinely a person that calls himself a trans woman is a vulnerable, frightened, dysphoric, frightened, bloody subset of woman? Now, do I believe right now there have been boys, young boys, who have been coerced, manipulated, and groomed into something, and that they are just as much victims as anybody else? Yes, I do. 100% I do. Do I think they're in their 30s? No. Do I think they're in their 40s? No. Do I think they're the ones that got married, had kids, then when their wives were pregnant, decided that they were women? No. Do we really think that Rishi Sunak or Keir Starmer or Angela Rayner or Mari, whatever her name is, do we actually really think that those people don't know that the majority of people who call themselves trans women are autogynephiles who get sexually aroused by themselves as women? Are we going to pretend they don't know that? Are they going to? Do they take us for such fools that we think for a minute that they don't know that what really a man is? That if one of those people turned up to babysit some kids that they know, do they not think that we know that they wouldn't think it was okay? Because I'm just so, it's, for me, it's not enough. So that's why here, when I think something's not enough, that someone else isn't doing a good enough job, then what we're going to do here, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go and do a better one. That's why we're starting the Party of Women. We are really, really near the finish line to properly launch our Party of Women. We are really nearly across the finish line to enable you lovely people in New Zealand and the United States of America to have the full range of everything that we do here at the Adult Human Female store. I will be in London on Sunday. It will be lovely to see you. Trans activists are coming. They're going to have a shower, paint some signs. They're going to come out to tell their mums that they don't feel loved, and we're all going to have to put up with them. So we know they're coming. And then I'm going to Vienna and Geneva. And Vienna is the 10th of June. Please sign up to the event on standingforwomen.com/events. And then Geneva, the 11th of June. And then the picnic is on the 25th of June. The events are costing more and more every time. The Vienna, Geneva, your countries are so expensive. The events are costing about £6,500 to put on. So if you would like to donate, that's Standing for Women. But the way we really, really like to take your money is for you to be the billboard. And if you go to Trans Women and Men, I've not updated the sign, but these are the stickers that you'll now be getting. They have angry little aubergines or eggplants in each corner. And they will be in the American store too soon also. But we keep having to basically do this forevermore. And we are the women's movement. This is the women's movement. It's, you know, it is what it is. And I think this is the most genuine grassroots movement of women that this country, if not the globe, when we look at this issue, actually has, because we are protecting what it means to be a woman. And without that, there are no women's rights. And a lot of people say it's a single issue, but it's not. It impacts nearly every aspect of our lives. So, right. Anyway, I am on mummy duties. I've got to go and help make a costume. Such is life. But things are happening really fast here. And I'm just totally and utterly exhausted because this proper stuff is hard work. But anyway, come and see me on Sunday. I might do a Twitter space tomorrow afternoon or early evening if you're around. So do join me. But Vienna, we've got, I mean, how good is this? Our stewards are coming from the UK to Vienna and Geneva. I mean, how that's what these women do in order to protect the free speech of other women. It's just, I'm quite speechless because they are incredible and they're great fun at the pub. So it's a win, 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 win. Anyway, thank you for joining me. It's a lot longer than I anticipated, so sorry about that. But I just, I know we have to be grateful for little things, but I want big things now. I'm a little bit sick and tired of little things. Um, Absolutely. I am on my way to Amsterdam this year. I'm going to do my calendar for the next sort of 8 months. I might do just a tour of Europe, where some days it's going to be evenings as opposed to, because I feel like, and I'm sure many of you do, it's going to be in a blink of an eye, and my children will be grown. And at the moment, I'm spending uh weekends are usually family time, and I'm spending quite a lot of mine away from my kids, and uh, they're going to get really busy soon, and I don't want to miss a second. So I might do a nice little tour. Um, the places I want to go, I really want to go to Denmark, Finland, Norway, Iceland, Holland, Sweden, um, Spain, Germany, Belgium, Italy, France, and anywhere else this poison exists. Malta, that would be quite good. So yes, I'm doing it all. Um, so look, if you can come to Speaker's Corner, if you can come and stand and add your body to the weight behind the voices that choose to speak, then I promise we will win. If you can, put your differences aside, and in that moment, just be united on the fact that we are women and we share our biology that creates an environment for us on this earth that no man can ever even imagine. Then I promise we will win. And do you know why else we're going to win? Because I never lose.
Could be, who knows? There's something due any day. I will know right away, soon as it shows. It may come cannonballing down through the sky, gleaming its eye bright as a rose. Who knows? It's only just out of reach, down the block on a beach, under a tree. I got a feeling there's a miracle